The morning began like any other for Alexander Cole, CEO of Cole Enterprises, a billionaire known for his sharp mind, colder heart, and perfectionist nature. He built his empire from nothing, but in the process, he had lost touch with the warmth of everyday life. His world was all numbers, deadlines, and deals. The conference room was sleek and silent, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city skyline. Assistants bustled quietly, arranging documents for the final round of job interviews for a personal assistant position. Alex sat at the head of the table, sipping black coffee, scanning resumes without emotion. He didn't have time for sympathy or small talk. Then, the door creaked open, everyone turned. Standing there was a little girl, her hair neatly tied in pigtails, her dress faded but clean. In her tiny hands, she held a folder that looked almost too big for her. "Excuse me," she said softly, her voice trembling but polite. "Mom's sick, so I came instead." The entire room froze. Alex blinked. "I'm sorry, what did you say?" She swallowed hard. "My mom, Mrs. Parker. She had an interview today. But she got really sick this morning. She said this job could help us pay for her medicine and I didn't want her to lose the chance." There was a long, stunned silence. The HR manager opened her mouth, but Alex raised a hand, stopping her. Something in the little girl's eyes, fear mixed with hope, made him pause. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she said, gripping the folder tighter. "Lily Parker." He leaned back in his chair. "Lily, do you know what this interview is for?" She nodded eagerly. "Yes, sir. It's for helping you. My mom said it's to keep things organized and make sure you're not late and remind you to eat lunch." A few muffled chuckles escaped around the room, but Alex didn't smile. Instead, he studied her carefully. There was honesty in her voice, something pure he hadn't seen in years. "All right, Lily," he said finally, gesturing to the chair across from him. "Let's have this interview." Gasps went around the table. The assistants exchanged looks of disbelief. Lily climbed onto the big leather chair, her feet dangling, barely touching the floor. She placed the folder in front of her with great seriousness. "This is my mom's resume," she said. "She works really hard. She used to be an office assistant before she got sick. And she's really good at typing, and she makes the best sandwiches." Alex took the folder and flipped through it, but his mind wasn't on the words. It was on the girl in front of him, her determination, her innocent courage. "Why did you come, Lily?" he asked gently. "Because," she hesitated, looking down. "I thought if I showed you how much she wants this job, maybe you'd give her a chance. She cries a lot at night because we don't have enough money, and I just want her to smile again." There it was, the lump in his throat he didn't expect. The man who had built his empire on logic suddenly felt his chest tighten. That he nodded slowly. "Thank you, Lily. You've done something very brave today." She smiled shyly. "Did I do okay?" Alex's voice softened. "You did better than most adults I've met." As she left, holding her mother's folder close, Alex sat back in silence. For the first time in years, his heart felt human. That evening, Alex couldn't stop thinking about Lily. Her words echoed in his head. "I just want her to smile again." He had seen hundreds of applicants, each one polished, confident, perfect. But none of them had moved him like that little girl had. She hadn't come for herself. She came out of love. Early the next morning, he called his secretary. "Find Mrs. Parker's address," he said simply. When he arrived, the neighborhood was quiet and run down. Paint peeled from the walls of the small apartment complex, and children's laughter echoed faintly from the courtyard. He climbed the narrow stairs and knocked on the door. After a moment, it opened. A woman in her mid-30s stood there, pale and weak, wearing a worn sweater. She looked startled to see him. "Mr. Cole?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about yesterday. I didn't send Lily, she must have gone on her own. I told her not to bother anyone." He raised a hand gently. "Please. Don't apologize. She didn't bother anyone." Her eyes filled with tears. I'm so embarrassed." Alex smiled faintly, a rare thing for him. "You shouldn't be. You've raised a remarkable daughter." Lily appeared behind her mother, peeking out shyly. "Hi, Mr. Cole," she whispered. He crouched down to her level. "Hi, Lily. Remember how you said you wanted your mom to smile again?" She nodded eagerly. He turned to Mrs. Parker. "Consider yourself hired." She gasped, covering her mouth. "What? You're serious?" "Completely," he said. "I saw the resume, but more importantly, I saw your daughter's heart. I could use people like you in my company, people who care." Tears streamed down her cheeks as she whispered, thank you so much." Lily threw her arms around her mother, giggling. "See, Mommy? I told you it would work." Alex couldn't help but smile, really smile. For the first time in years, over the next few months, Mrs. Parker became one of the most dedicated employees he'd ever had. Her hard work and honesty earned the respect of everyone in the company. But what Alex didn't expect was how much Lily's simple presence in their lives changed him. She would sometimes visit after school, bringing homemade cookies and laughter into an office that had long forgotten what warmth felt like. One day, as she handed him a cookie shaped like a heart, she said, "You know, Mr. Cole, you look happier now." He looked at her for a long moment, his chest tightening again with emotion. "Maybe that's because someone reminded me what really matters."